on, you fucking pussy. What's the deal? Where's the gun at, you fat faggot? Open fire! Open fire! You're a fat pussy. You won't even open the door?
I will.
And then what, you're going to shoot me?
No, I think my roommate will.
You're going to kill me?
I guess so, buddy. Just give me a second to get my dog wrangled.
You're a fucking pussy, dude.
Hold on, I'll show you pussy.
So, what's going on, guys? Coming at y'all again with another video. Today, we have another YouTuber that we're going to be talking about. And this one is going to be kind of short because, well, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so today we have another YouTuber that is brought up to the palette that needs to be discussed about. I don't know what's happening, man. All these OG YouTubers are getting bashed. Like, literally, they're getting swept off the grounds, off the internet, like just one by one, and it's ridiculous, man. Like, what is happening, bro? Makes no sense. So basically what I wanted to talk about is Boogie2988, aka the famous rage big YouTube star. Of course, you guys probably already know who he is because he's known for making those Francis rage videos back in whenever YouTube was in its glory days, where everything was valid. Okay, everything, you could post whatever the fuck you want. It didn't matter what, YouTube didn't give a fuck about what you posted. The guidelines were there and you didn't really have to abide by them whether you wanted to or not. So Fayetteville, Arkansas police confirmed to Motherboard that they are investigating a shooting at the home of popular YouTube star Boogie2988, Boogie, who makes videos about video games, tech, and weight loss. He says he fired a warning shot at another video creator, Frank Hassle, who showed up at his home uninvited and who threatened him. Then the spokesperson of police would not give the motherboard more information, citing there's an active investigation and an addresses matches photos of the incident posted to the social media by both Boogie and Hassle. The spokesperson said that officers did not respond to a shooting at the address at 3:22 p.m. local time. So Frank Hassle, this guy has been busting Boogie2988's balls. Apparently they had a beef in September of last year in 2020, and Frank Hassle showed up to his house uninvited, and he started knocking on the door, calling him a pussy and shit, fat ass, just all that shit, all of these unnecessary remarks to him, and he just wanted to be a dickhead to him, and he came up to his house. He started saying all these rude slurs towards Boogie. Then Boogie says he's gonna pull out a gun if he doesn't get the hell out of there, and of course Hassle doesn't give a fuck, so he just stays there, and he keeps antagonizing Boogie until he comes out of there with a gun. And he says, "Are you gonna shoot me or what?" Just all this other crazy bullshit. So then Boogie eventually comes out of the house. He has I think a revolver, it looks like, or a pistol of some sort. I'm not really a gun expert, so forgive me if I do not know the exact model of the type of gun he had, but he pulled out a pistol. He aimed it at Frank Hassle. He threatened him, saying that if you don't get off of my property, I will put this bullet in your fucking head. He didn't say that in the exact words. I'm just kind of wording it out there because that's exactly what he looked like he was going to do. He looked like he was going to shoot him. But then Frank was like, "No, you're not going to do shit. You're a pussy. You're fucking fat. All this shit." And then Boogie finally was like, "You know what? Fuck this shit." So he fires a warning shot in the air, and then he's like, "Okay, now is this enough proof that I will shoot you in your fucking head?" And then Frank gets all scared, and he tries to play it off by making this stupid ass laugh and saying you're a fucking pussy and all this shit. You're fucking retarded. You're mentally ill and all this shit. And it's like, man, come on, bro. Like, you literally pulled up to this dude's house to talk shit, and now you're fucking scared now, all of a sudden, because now he has a gun. So, honestly, man, my take of this whole situation is that, well, first of all, criticize fucking Frank Hassle first, because obviously he was the one that showed up to Boogie's house uninvited, when Boogie clearly said, do not come to his house, I do not want you to come over here, when Frank literally went out of his way to travel to Arkansas to Boogie's house and talk shit to him, just so that way he can make a point to him, because he clearly did this for the attention of his fans, so that way, you know, it was just a big internet beef that turned into something that was not needed, that didn't need to happen, you know. So let's criticize Frank Hassle for a minute. For one, it's okay to have internet beef, you know. If it's internet beef, then yeah, it's just internet beef. You're not gonna do shit. It's just an exchange of words back and forth, and whoever ends up saying the most shit wins, obviously. But you know, there's no, I see no point in internet beef, honestly, in my opinion, because it gets nowhere. So then, for Frank Hassle, he should have never pulled up to fucking Boogie's house in the first place, because first of all, that's a violation. You're trespassing on someone's property without being invited. If you're gonna come there with intent to harass somebody, then obviously do not show up, because they will do something that you don't want them to do, like call the police, which then we're leading into Boogie's situation on what he should have done on his fault. So what I think Boogie should have done in this situation is, I think he should have obviously called the police, because that's the first thing that would come to my mind. If somebody pulled up to my house and I felt threatened, or if I felt harassed, and we had this exchange of words of going back and forth on the internet, and we know we had beef with each other, and if this person did come to my house, knocked at my door, said all this shit, and just to get me out of there and get a reaction out of me, I would automatically just call the police, say that there's a person on my front porch saying all these unnecessary remarks towards me, and he's threatening me and shit like that, and the police would come and deal with the situation. But that's not the case with Boogie. Okay, because Boogie is clearly under a lot of pressure. He wants to handle things his way. So what he did instead was pull out a gun. He fired a warning shot, just so that way he can scare this guy off. And now, obviously, now that people know about this shit, now Boogie's getting arrested for this, and he's the one at fault. So now he's the one being pressed charges with aggravated assault. But yeah, I feel like Boogie should have never done that in the first place. The most reasonable thing to do is to really handle in this situation is to call the police, let them deal with it, and it's all done. So for both of these YouTubers getting into beef, it's quite unfortunate seeing Boogie2988 getting into this whole mess when it clearly could have been handled in a much more positive way. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I really do hope that Boogie finally learns what he did wrong, and I also hope that Frank, the other guy, knew what he did wrong, because this whole thing is just a complete clusterfuck. It's ridiculous, you know. It could have been easily prevented. It should have never happened in the first place. Just seeing another one of my favorite YouTubers end up in a situation like this, it sucks, man. It really does. So yeah, that's the case with Boogie2988. If anything does happen, I'll probably make another future video on this topic, but for now, that's it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.